is when a band purposely changes their sound with intent to appeal to a bigger/different demographic because they want to earn money and do it without passion. So yeah, my dog got a Christmas card. There's a Chihuahua next to me right now. Are you joking? Dude. What is going on, my mates? Hope everyone's been extremely well. We're just about to go in the car, film a video. Got to keep it 100% with everyone. It's a gloomy day. Feel a little bit sick, feel a little bit run down. I have a flat tire. I don't know, I think in times like this, it's just very important to remember the blessings that you do have in life. Like, for example, I'm just excited that I have a car that can have a flat tire. I'm excited that I have the health required to drive this car that I'm so lucky to have. I'm lucky that I have this to clean my camera. I don't know, just like when things go bad, I think it's very, very important to remember perspective just to keep yourself grounded and everything, because in America, we're just so privileged, and sometimes I think it is kind of forgotten a little bit because we get so used to it. So I don't know, today, just count a random blessing that you count as normal, like getting to use a toilet or having clean water. So I don't even know why I'm saying all this, but let's just get into the video. Yesterday, my mind got on the topic of bands selling out, and I just started thinking about it. I started thinking about everything that surrounds it, just like, oh, like, what is selling out? Who has sold out? Who hasn't? Like, what does it really mean? Like, how do you define it? How do I define it? And that's what I want to talk about in this video, because I think a very, very important part of this discussion is the definition that is used for selling out, as far as me providing my thoughts on it. But here's what I did yesterday on Instagram. I posted a question story thing on Pop Punk Merch Wall. It's gone now, or else I'd show it, but I did save some questions from it. So I always like to get input from the mates, because I don't really view this as just like my thing that I do. I view this as like a community thing. Therefore, I want to put other mates' opinions into it and just see what all the mates have to say. So I have a few answers, I guess, to the question that I asked. So we're gonna check those out. Then I can kind of spit out my opinion on it, and we can just kind of, I think the main reason that I want to make this video is just to start the discussion. It's just always fun to talk about this stuff. I want to see mates go crazy in the comments, yell at each other in a fun, respectful way, I hope. So if this video makes you want to do that, I'm glad. That's what I want. So here we go. It's my mom. She just got home from work. She's a nurse or teacher. Yeah.
A nurse teacher?
Yeah, nurse teacher.
Almost teacher.
Nathan Music, I like your name. There's a Chihuahua next to me right now. Are you joking? Dude. Sometimes I feel like my attention span isn't what it should be, but anyway, Nathan Music, like your name by the way, said, a band sells out when they stop playing their hometown immediately. That's a good little way to look at it, I suppose. That's not necessarily how I would define it myself, but that's definitely some good analysis right there. Mark wears red. That's a cool color. Writing songs that they aren't fond of / wait, hold on. Mark Wears Red said, writing songs they aren't fond of / good at just to please a separate set of fans from another genre. That's very good as well. I would definitely agree with parts of that. Some very good analysis from Mark as well. Trent Thomas Picks, my freaking mate, my good friend, someone that we're actually just friends because of the internet. But anyway, he said, selling out to me is when you start writing music for the money instead of the passion. Trent, I think that's the one that I agree with the most, actually. That I think when the passion fades away is when the selling out really starts to go down, if you will. Tim Devine, like Kevin Devine, I like your last name, by the way, my mate. He said, don't just make it about bands changing their sound and sounding less punk. Well, Tim, I'm not gonna do that. That one alternative boy said, 1, radio-friendly music. 2, no more DIY tours. 3, signing with a mainstream company. 4, being crappy to fans. I feel like the first 3 kind of lean more on the side of just like a band becoming successful. The radio-friendly music one, I don't know, that one's kind of debatable, but I think no more DIY tours and signing with a mainstream company, I think that's just a step of becoming a very, very big successful band. I don't think like being a big successful band like means that you've sold out or is a negative thing necessarily. I definitely think that you start to have less and less control, and I do agree with you on that, but I partially agree with this one, my mate, this alternative boy. PX Basis said, changing your sound because it's popular and it will make money without a passion for it. That's one that I would pretty much agree fully with. Sir Strokes said, a band stops listening to fans / starts listening to the statistics. Okay, that's very good as well. I feel like as a band, it's important to listen to what your fans have to say and what they want, because ultimately they're the ones that are making it so you can do what you want to do full time. So I think the input of that is very important. And for me, I'm obviously not in a band, but I really take into consideration what the mates have to say in the comments, or if there's an idea that's expressed, I really want to take it to heart and like do video ideas that the mates suggest, because ultimately this channel would just be me talking to which it is, but there are mates that interact and watch the videos, and I want to serve the community, you know. So some very, very good analysis from Sir Strokes. And last but not least, I don't think least anyway, Danielle, we're just gonna say Daniel, said selling out is changing your sound drastically to cash in a bigger, completely separate audience. For sure. I think just changing your sound with the intent to make money, I think that's the perfect way to describe selling out. Alrighty, my mates, this video is interrupted by a feature.
Hello, I'm the feature.
We're getting the mail right now. I really enjoy mail.
Remember, mail time.
Shout out Blue's Clues.
Bart Simpson called it the female man because the lady was
the female man.
Oh, Heavenly Hounds. Oh, cool.
Heavenly Hounds.
That's Wendee. Wendee, you got a Christmas card from the groomer.
My dog got a card in the mail. I don't usually get any, but I know Wendee usually does. So.
Thank you for letting me groom Wendee. Donna. Aww.
Aw, that's so cute.
Wendee.
Wendee, you did a good job. You did a good job. You smile. Bye.
Are you heading out?
No, my tire's flat. I'm just filming a video in my car. Alrighty, now that our intermission is over, we are back to our regularly scheduled programming. So what do I think selling out is as a band, as an artist, etc., etc.? The way that I would loosely define selling out, and I do just want to make this very, very clear that I believe that this is very subjective. Like, different people have different opinions about what it is, and just all that, different definitions. People clash on opinions, whatever. But the way that I personally define selling out and look at selling out as a whole is when a band purposely changes their sound with intent to appeal to a bigger/different demographic because they want to earn money and do it without passion. And again, that's really hard to define and quantify, and it's not just this cut and dry thing that you can say, oh, they for sure sold out or for sure didn't. I mean, you could probably say if they for sure didn't, but selling out is very hard to define. And again, it's a very opinion-oriented thing, which again is why I wanted to make this video, to start the discussion in the comments and everything. But that is how I would define it. So let's start talking about that a little bit. Here's the thing, I don't have a super strong, or I don't think a super polarizing opinion on selling out in general. So I guess the question would be like, just what do I think about it? Like, is it okay? And I mean, yeah, it is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think what really bums me out is that somehow people are able to determine exactly what they would do in said hypothetical situation. Like, you don't know what you would do if you were in a band, so like it's really hard for me to judge other bands that quote unquote sell out or whatever, because if it's like, wow, you grew up in poverty, you grew up in a pretty lower class, just like neighborhood, whatever, and like you're in a band that's starting to get somewhere, and then like there's like $500,000 waved in front of your face, not just for the whole band, but just for like every member of the band. It's like, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what you would do. So it's really, really hard to say. But with that being said, even though it's not something that really upsets me or makes me angry or makes me think any less of the people in bands, I definitely do respect bands more that don't sell out and just kind of keep doing their own thing. It really, really does bum me out when a band sells out. Trust me, it's not something that I like at all. I really don't enjoy it whatsoever, and I wish that they wouldn't. But I really do just want to drive the point that I don't think that you should judge bands that do. Or I mean, if you want to, that's totally fine. That's on you. Like, do whatever you want. But for me personally, it just doesn't make sense to me to judge bands for selling out. And a band that I really feel like hasn't sold out in the last, 10, 15 years is actually a band that I haven't even listened to that much, but I listened to one of their covers and then some of their older, newer stuff, is Dance Gavin Dance. I'm like, they've been around so long and their sound is like the furthest thing from commercial, but like I'd almost argue that they're like commercially successful and just have like a ridiculously crazy fan base, kind of like Basement or Brand New or just like bands like that. I'm just like, dang, like good on them. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like they've sold out whatsoever. And to the bands that have, hey, they're making money. I may not care for their sound anymore. For example, State Champs, I don't want to say they sold out or didn't sell out, but I just really don't care for their music anymore. It doesn't sound like anything that they put out in the beginning. Like, I loved The Finer Things. The EP before that was pretty chillin'. The thing before that was pretty chillin'. I think The Finer Things was definitely their best piece of work. But to me, it seemed like after they toured with 5 Seconds of Summer, they kind of got like this itch for like bigger fame. And I totally respect that and understand that. But I think they kind of lost some of the edge and I just think they lost some of the edge that made them such an amazing band. And I think the departure was definitely on Around the World and Back. I was like, okay, I'm just not so sure about this. And then they put out Living Proof this year, and I was just like, yeah, unfortunately, I just can't vibe with this band. Everyone in the band seems really, really cool. It's just not my style anymore. And as sad as it makes me, I just really do want to iterate that I'm so happy for them that they get to do their dream career, make a ton of money from it. But at the same time, I just don't like their music that much anymore, and it bums me out. But I am really happy for them, you know? It's just like it's a two-sided thing, you know what I mean? Now here's what I think is very cool is when bands, I feel like they're purposely trying to kind of make their sound a little bit bigger without completely selling out. And I think two bands that have done that very, very well, bands that I would say that I still care for and I think are pretty darn good bands that a lot of y'all probably have heard of or listened to, since we all kind of listen to alternative music on here. It seems to be the case anyway. But I feel like this year specifically, Boston Manor and Trophy Eyes have put out some pretty decent records that are much bigger, fuller, more anthemic, just rock and roll. And I think they've done a very, very good job at kind of making their sound a little bit more accessible, more appealing to a bigger audience, but not so much selling out. And I think that's very, very cool that they're able to do that. That's just my take on it anyway. And again, I just want to reiterate, it's very much an opinionated thing. Some people might say, no, Trophy Eyes sold out, or like Boston Manor effing sold out. But I don't know. I just don't really see it that way. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Alrighty, so now you know my opinion. We've gotten some opinions from the mates, and for videos like this, what I really love to do is to get a third piece of input from just some random place. So I found this website called What Culture, and I just absolutely have never even heard of this website. So here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna read a little article from it. I'll put it up on the screen. So it says nine musicians who sold out the hardest. Very that sounds like a pretty clickbaity title. Respect to them. That's some pretty good clickbait. Hey, they got me with it, right? And it's really cool. So at the bottom, they're like, for every band, you have to click next and it refreshes the page. And the reason that they set it up like this is because every time the page refreshes, there are new different ads, and that counts as a separate impression, earning them more ad revenue. Now, I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea and think that I'm smart. I'm just really like into internet marketing. That's the only reason that I know. So they wrote this article about 9 musicians who sold out, blah, blah, blah. And this one is talking about Maroon 5. So let's see what they had to say about the mates in Maroon 5. I don't know much about this band, to be completely honest with you. I mean, everyone knows about Maroon 5, but so they have 6 members, I guess. Lots of diversity. Okay. There's a black guy with long hair, white guy with short hair, leather jackets, jean jackets, sweaters, glasses. Dang. This band is really promoting diversity. That's cool. Songs About Jane introduced the world to a new kind of pop rock band, one that could deliver on a tacit agreement to deliver catchy, punchy radio hits to the masses while still sounding much funkier and aggressive than the slop of homogenized pop being played around them. Flash forward a decade now, and the only reason you can pick a Maroon 5 song out of a playlist is because of Adam Levine's nasally, vaguely sexual delivery. Okay. They're now firmly a part of the homogenization. So I guess basically what this article is saying in a nutshell is that Maroon 5 has completely homogenized their sound. And what that means essentially is that they've just kind of made it like everyone else's sound. And a band that I think really did this, I don't know if they did in an attempt to sell out or what. A band that I really, really, really love that did this, that I don't know if it was on purpose or if it just happened, if it was a natural progression, it just happened to be this way, but this band called the Front Bottoms. Let me just tell you how much I love the Front Bottoms. Self-Titled is one of my favorite albums, like probably top 50 albums ever. Talent of the Hawk, I freaking love it. But anything after that, I just feel like they just had this super sharp, edge to their music that just made it so much different. And now it's like, it just kind of sounds like everything else to me, especially their new album. I don't know. You may completely disagree with me, and if you do, I honestly think that's amazing, and you should voice it in the comments. Like, I just love that we live in a free country and we're able to have discussions like this. That's kind of random, but yeah. So overall, my mates, those are my thoughts on musicians selling out. I appreciate you watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, I mean, like, it's down there and it's free. Like, you might as well, you know, and you should join Mates Club. We're growing ridiculously fast. We just passed 2K. Now we're almost at like 3.5K. I'll just never be able to say thank you enough, for real, my mates. So you should follow my social media if you want to. That'd be pretty lit. We have a Mates Club drop, the very, very first official Mates Club drop coming this month. Black and white shirts, flowery graphic, comfort effing colors. So it's, you know, it's gonna be good. Hope you mates have an outstanding day. One more time, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see y'all later.